Okay, Walter, this is going to be a really quick video. I received this in the mail today. These are white oxide dressing sticks for the diamond wheel. These are 150 grit. They're supposed to work for the 80 grit wheel here. So there, and then I have some 220 grit, and those are supposed to work for another wheel I have that's 240 grit. So I've got the grinders set to run at 2000 RPM. It has a variable speed on it. The light's no good. Let me see if this will shine some light here a little bit. There we go. So okay, so we got a little light. Let's this crude device is a dresser for the aluminum oxide wheel, and this is a pretty crude device. It throws dust everywhere. So it's messy thing to use, but that said, it does work. I've used it up until recently. So I purchased these little devices from Banggood.com for, I don't know, $6 or something, and this has diamond embedded in it. And this has a diamond point on it. So I find that I'm thinking that these work much better for dressing the aluminum oxide wheel. So that said, let's turn the grinder on. And I think I told you that this seems to create a lot less dust. It does create dust, but it does seem to be less. So, you can see the dust, of course. Now this wheel has already been dressed, but when it's uneven, this dresses it very quickly. Right now the wheel is very square. It's got like knife sharp corners on it, and that only took a few seconds to do that. It was pretty uneven prior to that, so unfortunately, I'd already done that. But anyway, so that said, I'm going to take this out of the package here. It's stapled shut, so let's see if we can get it out. Now, the guy that sold me these stones for the diamond wheel, he said, or his website says, that you can dip them in water and push them into the wheel, and I guess they'll turn soft. When they turn soft, the dressing's been done. It's been accomplished. So I'm not sure I understand that right, but we'll see. So I'm going to try it for the first time, see what happens. So I'm going to dip this in water, and I guess it soaks up the water. I don't know. We'll see. I'm going to push it into the wheel. Well, he may be right. It does turn to butter. You can see what happens. Now this wheel, I think, this wheel is badly glazed. Let me dip it in the water again. I don't know if that makes, how much difference that makes. Oh, wow. Wow. Look at that. I got a beautiful wheel again. Amazing. Let me turn it off. Let's take a look at it. I should have zoomed in on that so you can see what the wheel looked like. You can see the stick. So that's basically the color of the wheel. Wow. Now these wheels don't run perfectly true. I just made an arbor for this wheel because well, you know what? Most of this wheel, not all of it, but a lot of it, or a great portion of it, is beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that's amazing. Let me see if I can zoom in on that. I don't know how I can do that. Let's see. Now there's still some there's still some glazing on there, and also the wheel's out of round, so I don't know, this might true the wheel up. That wasn't my intention. I really didn't think there's any way to really true this wheel up, but that might not be so. Let's try it again, see what we can do. Oh, wait a minute here, let me turn it off again. Well, now I gotta wait for it to slow down here. Okay, let me turn the viewer around so I can see what's going on. So the wheel's wet right now, but right here, I don't know if you can see some black looking streaks on the wheel. That's where it was glazed, and that's out of round. That's why that didn't clean up. But this area is it's got water on it right now, but it's nice and clean. Well, let's see what happens here. See if I mean, these things cost money. I don't want to grind it away. But let's see what happens. I think once this wheel it's never been dressed. Okay, it's just, I didn't have any way to do it, or didn't know what to do, actually. So, but I'm sure it's still way out of round. I'm sure, I just can't imagine this thing is going to get it in round, but I can still see the glaze marks. It's never looked this good, except maybe when it was new. That only took a few minutes. Look at that. That's beautiful. Here's the black glaze marks here. And then it turns good again. So we gotta, I don't know, maybe there's some way I can true that up. I don't think it's that far out of round, actually, now that I look at it. Because some of this is starting to clean up, but if I keep bearing down on this stick, I don't think that's going to make the difference. Makes like a, when you wet it, it makes like a paste. Well, it still has that big glaze spot right there. But that might be about it. Some little spots. No, that's it right there. That big glaze spot right there. So that's, and actually it's starting to, you know, work on that spot. Well, I'm not gonna rub the stick on there anymore, but that seemed to open up all the pores on the. Let's see how that works. Let me get something here. Hang on a minute. Let me let's see if I can turn the viewer back this way and zoom out. There we are. So now we got the whole thing in view. Turn the thing back around again. See, let me look up here real quick and let me turn this so I can see it. Look up here. I've got some carbide. I've got a box of carbide lathe tools. They're just old junky things. I don't use them very much, but just find one some of them are ground away. I used to use the green stone or whatever color it is to grind on them. Now let's see what happens here. Let me just grind on one and see what happens. Wow. That feels better. Oh wow. Wow. That definitely works much better. Oh yeah. Well, I don't have it started right, but actually, I'm way overdoing it. You don't have to. But the point was way out of whack. Well, that's beautiful. That more than touched that up. Probably can't see it because it's kind of dark. See if I turned upside down. It worked great anyway. Take my word for it. Sharp as a razor. Just a couple seconds. I didn't need to actually hold it on the wheel that long. It's just that this face wasn't square. Still not, but a lot better than it was. Well, great. I'm really pleased with that. So hopefully that tells you what we were talking about earlier. And I'm very pleased, and I think those dressing stones work great. Remember, I'm just doing a whatever that is, 3/8 wide wheel, so that's not real wide. And I probably should dress the side of it because I use that from time to time. So let's see, I don't know if you can see. So there's the new one, and there's the one I just used. So I used about 1/4 of an inch of it. I think these are 4 inches long, if I remember right. So it does work, and I guess if I held it on there long enough or fool with it long enough, I might even get the wheel to trued up. That's what bothers me, that I know the wheel's not true. I made an arbor for this because I didn't have anything that was really good to do that. Initially when I got the wheel, I got some little 1¼ inch plastic inserts. Takes 2 of them, and I used those along with the regular flange washers and nut that hold the the aluminum oxide wheel in. But I made a steel arbor, stepped arbor, that sits in there and centers the wheel. And I don't think I could have done a better job. I don't know. I made it on the lathe and I turned it as precise as I could. But this thing still seems to, you know, wobble a little bit. But maybe that's just the edges out of true too. That could be. I don't know. But that stone definitely works. That's pretty amazing. Okay, so I think that's all I wanted to show you. And this is all new to me too. You know, this is the first time I've ever tried it. So I'm satisfied with it. I think it's worth it. These things on eBay were like $3. So and the guy charges shipping. So, but he just charges you one time for shipping, $2 and something to ship, and then he charged me 30 cents an item after that. So there's 3 additional items. So that was an extra 90 cents. But I got them in one day, or 2 days maximum. I don't know. It hasn't been very long. So that worked out. That worked out okay. By the way, I also checked up there. You may be able to pick these things up at Grainger. Down here, my Grainger, I looked on the internet today, and Grainger has them. So they have a selection of about 4 different grits, I think, plus some other miscellaneous stuff too that does the same thing. So you might check at Auckland Grainger up there in Canada and see if they don't have them. Anyway, okay, I'll call off now, and I'll post this video so you can see what's going on.